Show up.
I'm a genius.
Stop this motto. Everybody wants to be somebody.
But you gotta remember, that's what they said. Government shutdown. You get a whole second.
Not basically for you, but for most part, work diligently.
Not like big government shutdown, but like we shut down for snow. So that day moves everybody this week back a day. But see, I know the church for our trash day is Tuesday. I put my trash out this morning.
Yeah, you get Harley. You don't do a lot more.
Do you have a slide or something for
The funny part is, I love when they usually so I called him. Yeah, so he got cameras at him.
That's fine. I was gonna, you know what I should call? Okay, great. Yeah, love that.
Because the camera showed me running right.
Everybody was in that area, and you didn't have that. Listen, you can be aggressive with the trash. That's right. But knock yourself out. And if you break one, I'm going to bring another 100 because you're out. You know, so
I was out there.
Or you got
You should have got it first. Your walk, please. Come on, please. It's a short walk. You'll walk down. Yep, that's you know, I got both pieces of trash and pushing up on it.
That's
Morning, everybody. We're going to get started. A little late here. Sorry for that. But if you can, go ahead and please scan the QR code. This is how we take attendance. And if this is your first time with us, please also scan the QR code so that you can become a friend of ours. Thank you, everybody, for doing that. All right, I'm going to get started with the housekeeping, and then we'll get into the main event. So here we go. Welcome, everybody. This is 1 Million Cups, and the mission of 1 Million Cups is to lower the barrier of access to education, resources, and connection for all types of new, seasoned, and aspiring entrepreneurs throughout the United States. We give presentations, not pitches, and we make authentic connections. We're not just here to network. We're radically and intentionally inclusive, and we are run for the community, by the community. And what I mean by that are these are your local business owners and businesses that bring this to you weekly. So we are grateful to the Midlands Innovation Exchange, lovingly known as The Mix, for housing us every Wednesday. We appreciate the Waffle House for donating the free coffee. And these are our local business owners that bring the presenters to you, do the marketing, do the coaching, provide swag gifts, all of the above. So thank you to all of those people. It is a labor of love. It's purely voluntary, and all we get is an ugly t-shirt for all of the hard work. Bob, could you model the ugly? That's it. That's all we get. That's it. That's how they reward our time and talent. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it. Our local program. So we've been here over 10 years. We're held weekly on Wednesday mornings, and we have had over 500 entrepreneur presentations. We also offer educational topics like finance, future frame, networking, and provide you local resources. We have one presenter a week with about a 5 to 6 minute presentation, and we follow that with Q&A from the community. We also have Made It sessions where we will have entrepreneurs come back who have made it here in Columbia, and they share their journey with us. Again, we're always free, we are always open to the public, and we provide you with free coffee. I am calling for presenters. If you have an interest in presenting, Please note it is not a sales pitch and it is not an investor pitch. The goal is to have people understand what you do and some of the challenges you've had in building your business. We love companies that are 0 to 5 years old and open to community engagement. You can apply here at that link, or you can come and see me or any of our organizers after the event today. I am filling the pipeline for the end of February and March, so if you've got some time, please come and share your journey with us. We have 2 Facebook pages. One is the 1 Million Cups Columbia, which is our national page, and this is our little family page, if you will. So if you're not a member on this one, please go ahead and scan that QR code and become a member here. This is where we like to have most of our engagement. So if you're looking for local resources, if you have a question, maybe you want to share something with the group, this is where we would like that engagement. So thank you for following along, and I'll give everybody a second. Thank you, folks. Upcoming presenters. So next week we have Dr. Thaddeus Jones, who's going to be sharing his journey at Fanatic Productions LLC. He gives us a lot of trouble around here, so make sure you come next week and we give him all the trouble we can. Payback time, kid.
You just try it.
Payback time. February 18th, we're having a learning session. Marquise Jackson with South Carolina SBDC, he's going to come in and he's going to share with all of you exactly what the SBDC has to offer our entrepreneurial community. So don't miss that session. And then February 25th, Ms. Decoria Jones is going to come in and talk about her company and journey, Bodyworks Technologies, and I have the 4th available. So could that be you? Let's see. Please take a second just to look at your phones, put them on silent, or just shut the damn thing off. No one's going to miss you for 60 minutes. So thank you in advance. It's respectful for our presenters and everyone in the room, so I appreciate you taking the time. I'm going to do a quick introduction and then I'm going to throw it over to the gentleman in the front of the room. So today we have the pleasure of hearing from Mr. Sammie Taylor. As a former officer in the U.S. Air Force, Taylor is proficient in the management of small to multi-million-dollar projects, including staffing, equipment, and processes. His experience as a financial planner provides a unique balance of fiscal evaluation and planning to each project. His strong work ethic and attention to detail has garnered numerous awards, and he is a strong supporter of church and community. Mr. Taylor volunteers with various organizations. He mentors young men, teaches adult and youth classes, and he provides direction and spiritual counseling to congregational members. And there's far, far more I could say about him, but I ran out of room on the slide. So I will throw it to Tom and Sammie up front, and thank you all.
He's a great person to have as a friend. All right, everybody needs a good friend, so find one and hang on to it. All right, so we got to do this. Sammie is ex-military. I have known Sammie. I think we decided it was like 15 years. Right? And he's a fast track graduate. He and his daughter came to fast track 15 years ago, just about. And that's part of his presentation of what we're going to do today. But today is about the process of developing, designing a thing. Okay, not a software service. Not software as a service or a service offering of some other type other than software. But it's about the trials and tribulations of prototyping, product design, finding it, doing all of the things necessary to get a thing in front of a customer and have them start selling it. So it's all about that trip today. So I'll introduce my good friend, Sammie Taylor.
No. Good morning.
Good morning.
After my family and I retired from the Air Force, we grew up in Columbia. I went to Eau Claire High School. My wife went to C.A. Johnson. I was hated at C.A. Johnson, but they loved me at Eau Claire. Especially during football and basketball season. I was a pretty good athlete. Huh? There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I remember we were playing C.A. Johnson on Friday, and there was a lot of fighting and stuff going on in Columbia, as in many other places, during the early 70s because of segregation and now integration. So they had us to play a day game at W.A. Perry Middle School over off of Beltline. And the night before at C.A. Johnson, they had had a pep rally. And I was the center of their pep rally. They built a dummy of me, and they burned me in effigy. They did. My then girlfriend was Miss C.A. Johnson. So that was a little bit interesting for her. The next day we came out, we played the day game. I was running back. I rushed the ball, I think, 3 times, had about 70 yards. So I was going to kill them that game. And the guys tackled me on their sideline. One guy took my foot and wrenched it as hard as he could, and the other guy stomped on it. Had a hole about that deep in my ankle. And my wife, being the person that she was then and is still, she went into the locker room. Now we beat them by 30 points. If I'd have played, we'd have beat them by 50. Y'all supposed to say that's right. So she went into their locker room with a couple of her friends and gave them pretty good tongue lashing that day. That weekend, that weekend, but the weekend after that, all of them came to Eau Claire because we'd have what we called them sock hops back in the day. The team came over, and during our activity, they didn't apologize, but they did come over and say that what they did wasn't right because of her influence. And that's why I married her. Because she had my back no matter what. We were teenagers. We started dating. We were in the 11th grade. We were now seniors. I knew I would marry her. I just didn't know when. And even to this day, my wife is my biggest and best fan. And that's part of the reason I entered into this technology stuff. We spent 20 years in the Air Force. It's funny how, God puts you through things. And those things either make you better or they break you. I got passed over for Lieutenant Colonel because a guy got my OPR and the other guy's officer performance report. Got them, I would say he got them mixed up. The guy that he promoted off of my performance because he had his secretary redact everything on the OPR that would let him know who it was. So he looked at the OPRs, and this other guy got selected. And I said, sir, just humor me. Can I hear what was written in the OPR for this other guy? And as he went down the list of all of the awards we had won, the units I managed had won, we won 3 outstanding unit awards, which is only given to 1 unit each year in the Air Force. And at 1 unit here at Shaw, I won it 3 times, and at another Air Force base, I won it once. So in my 20 years of service, I had the best unit all of the Air Force 4 different times. And I couldn't get promoted to Lieutenant Colonel. So I said, it's time for me to take my talents someplace else. So when I went in to talk to my immediate supervisor, great guy, he dropped his papers the same time that I did. Because his words to me were, Sam, if they'll treat you that way. And you outperform everybody in this command. It's just a matter of time before they get to me too. And I'm not going to give them the opportunity. So, now, why did I tell you that? I tell you that because even though it happened to me, and it was a hiccup in my career, it didn't stop me from wanting to always do my best. And this guy came into my life during that time. Yeah, I stayed here for another 2 or 3 years until I got my 20 and we retired. Started a small business when I got out because I decided I would never work for anybody else again as long as I lived. And I haven't. It hasn't always been easy, but I've always worked for me and my family. I'm smart enough to build relationships, positive relationships with people that believed in me. And if I believed in them and they believed in me, then the two of us could help each other. Because, and I don't want to offend anybody, but in this world, particularly in South Carolina, if you have a good tan, you need someone that's not as tanned as you are to help you. That's just kind of the reality of things here. I know people don't necessarily like the thought of that or the idea that I said it, but life is reality. And it will open your eyes to a lot of things. I'm not saying that anybody should ever compromise themselves, but you should always be looking to improve your situation. And Tom's a great guy. He liked me. My daughter attended class with me, which was a great thing for me. And he's just been in my life for the last 15 to 17 years. And I thank God for that and for him. What I'm going to talk to you guys about today is a product that I developed because a young guy that played football at Lower Richland High School back in the 70s. Went to the pros, played for the New England Patriots, won a Super Bowl or 2. He was on his way out to get a meal. He was on his motorcycle. It's a beautiful day or evening. This guy came across. He was on his motorcycle. A young lady was driving parallel or in the opposite direction. He crossed. He was on Clemson Road. He crossed horse gravel. The young lady was on horse gravel, wanted to turn right. So she slowed up just a little bit, but she didn't look. So she turned right as he was going through the intersection. She hit him and knocked him into oncoming traffic, 2 cars. So he got hit 3 times. And needless to say, he died that night. He was on a motorcycle. And she said, I just didn't see him. And that's happened to many of us. You know, you'll be riding around, you're going in some direction, and suddenly there's a motorcycle there. Not that you didn't see him, but you didn't realize he was there. And it sounds crazy, but when you ride around and you're used to seeing cars, and that's what you pay attention to, a lot of times you don't see bike riders, you don't see motorcyclists, unless there's a bunch of them. And accidents happen. And that day I called a really good friend of mine that was an engineer. And I said, man, we've got to do something to help these motorcycle riders. So we put our heads together. And within a year's time, we had come up with this. It's a helmet, motorcycle helmet. Brake light on the back, LED lights on the side for visibility, not for visibility for him, but for y'all. You can see this helmet for about 200 to 250 yards away. Because when you light it up, and I'm going to do that, it creates this large dome of light. And when you're driving, you're on the highway or whatever, and you see something that you don't realize what it is, the because of who you are, you want to know what that is. You don't know it's a motorcycle rider, you can't see the motorcycle, but you can see the helmet. So in order to help the motorcycle community, we got to this point. And we developed this in about a year's time. People say, well, man, it's just putting lights on a helmet. It didn't take you that long to do it. Well, when things are new, that people have never done, you're always concerned about whether it's something you can do or whether you should do it, what the cost is going to be, will you be able to move it from this place to that place. All of that stuff happened with us. We were trying to figure out if we should go through with this thing. So we got to that, and at that point we decided it's time to do a patent. This was 2 years ago. So I got in touch with Tom and another very good friend of mine, and we started writing this thing. It's been submitted. We've got feedback from the patent office on 2 occasions. They were asking questions about certain things, and should have a patent sometime between now and so. Okay? So then we decided, well, how is this thing going to work? We got lights on it, but how are we going to make it work? And are we going to infuse it with the technology on the motorcycles? So for a while, we were figuring out how to do that, how to connect my helmet to the motorcycle in the easiest way possible. We went through several different iterations. And no, we don't put this on the helmet. Because that's the first thing I thought, well, no, we can't do that. Too bulky, too much weight on your neck and that sort of thing. So what we've done is all of this stuff that you see, it's been put in this box. Okay? The brains for it anyway. And the reason we did that is because we wanted this to be managed by this alone. And we put that in the seat itself, under the seat, because that's where all the electronics are on a motorcycle, right? So we did that. We've done that, and this is how it works. Come to the back, we turn it on. The flashing lets us know that it's on. Can you see it? You guys see this?
Yes.
Okay, this is the brake light.
Yep.
It's all LED. And it's LED because LED is the most reliable lighting that we have now. It's really cost effective. And you can make it as small or as large as you want. Okay? So what happens with this is when you hit the brakes, this thing lights up. And because it's an LED and it's small, but you can still see it for 300 or 400 yards. Okay? So now when this light lights up, the only person that sees that, the only people that see it are the people that are behind. Right? But when you turn this thing on, if you're riding down the street and it's 10 o'clock at night, and you see a ball of light behind you, but you don't see anything else, first thing you're going to say is, oh, it's an alien, right? So, or if you've had a little too much fun that evening, you might say it's time for me to go. But with these lights give drivers the ability to see you even when you can't really see them. Okay? And the reason we did that is because I'm sure most of you probably drive. And have you ever run into an occasion where there was a motorcycle you could hear, but you couldn't see it. This helps you see them, so you'll know where they are. And more times than not, because you're driving a car, whatever, they are certainly going to see you. But this gives you an opportunity to see them, or at least see a light. You probably won't know it's a motorcycle ride, but you'll see something, and that will get your attention. Okay. Now, let's assume you want to turn right or left. You hit your turn signal, and it's tied into this, and your lights flash on the left side, and you hit the brake lights come on as well. And so this happens whether you're going right or left. The signal will fluctuate for you just like it does on your car, because it'll be married to your automobile. So when you hit the turn signals in your car or the brakes, this will illuminate along with the lighting on your car. And when you comes back to center and it goes off, these lights go off as well, or they stop flashing. That's my idea. Yes, sir.
Is it, does the motorcycle, any of the motorcycle components have to be changed out or?
No, sir. This little box is what has all of this technology in it. The battery.
It has an onboard diagnostic capability like a car does, with a little plug-in with a mechanic puts it in. This connects into that circuit and makes it Bluetooth wireless connectivity.
Yeah. Sir?
That's ingenious. I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
But now, did you have to run that by federal standards like National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, stuff like that?
It's not a part of the vehicle. This is a part of the helmet itself, but you don't do any manufacturing on the helmet. This adheres to the helmet with glue. Okay?
It's an aftermarket kit that you can buy to just about any helmet.
And
because if we started messing around with the helmet and cutting slots in the helmet to put that in, you would violate the integrity of the helmet itself, and you'd have to go back through testing and recertification in the helmet. So we said aftermarket.
And the brains of this whole thing is in this little box, and then it goes under the seat. It's Bluetooth, yes. Yeah, it goes under the seats.
You may have said this, but does it turn on when the sky gets darker, or is it always bright?
No, you turn it on physically.
Okay, gotcha.
With the button that's here.
Okay. Are you asking about in normal use? Are the lights on? If you're on the motorcycle,
right. I think he answered it right. Like I thought maybe when the sun sets, does it automatically turn on, or you have to manually press the button?
You have to manually press the button.
You would have it on during the day, I would think too, because it's a brake light.
But
the visibility wasn't as the white ones.
Yes, right. The LED ones.
Now this is the first iteration of this. There'll be other things that we'll do as we get smarter and employ more people that do this sort of thing for a living. It's going to change. It has to. And those changes will be improvements. Yes,
You kind of answered this question, but I think it would be cool as a design if the lights could be embedded in the helmet. They're kind of like a seamless design all the way around. I know that's probably costly to do it, but that could be like a whole separate product,
Right. That's what Tom was just talking about, and there are plans to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But before we could do any of that, we had to get a patent in place.
Yeah.
And now, once we do that, we've got some successes marketing and selling this thing, then that will be the next step.
Okay. What's your time frame? When do you think those might hit the market?
Probably within the next 4 to 6 months. Right now, the long pole in the tent is manufactured.
but the brand name on the back of that helmet is significant for the next 4 to 6 months, because the folks at Harley Davidson are extraordinarily interested in this application and what they can do with it. And Sam and I were talking about it earlier. Harley is a leader in the motorcycle market, and other manufacturers will follow their lead if we do it right.
Oh, yeah. That'll be a good Shark Tank product. Too.
No,
We've been thinking about that and talking about that.
Man, that would hit off good. Like I think
we wanted to make sure that we had a product that didn't just operate intermittent. That when we turn it on and we need it to operate, it will operate in the right manner. And that's kind of what's taking so long.
Yeah.
We're not perfectionists, but if you try something once and it's new and it doesn't work, you're not going back.
Yeah.
And you're going to talk about it. Yeah, man, I bought this thing and you're just not going back. So for us, it's critically important that the things work the way they're supposed to, the first time and each time. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I wanted to be like sure. So it is a kit right now.
That's correct.
Okay, that's what I was talking
What
about.
comes in the kit are these 4 streams of light, and they're attached to this.
Okay.
And you simply adhere to the package. There is glue on the other side of this and on the other side of the lights. Okay. And you'll have instructions of how to install it. We're going to recommend that you take it to a motorcycle dealership. Harley Davidson does great work. They've helped us with this thing all along the way, so they're familiar with it. And this is the only thing that's added to the motorcycle itself. Everything else is put on the helmet.
Don't go to a Harley owner and say, we need to drill holes in your motorcycle to mount this block, because they'll not let you touch their motorcycle.
That's correct. They won't. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for your service, and your story is amazing. I love it. I have a friend that had a really bad motorcycle accident, like 100 of them traveling. So I think that's amazing. I love it, and I wish you many blessings.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll get the name of your friend so we can.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, they got a motorcycle.
Sir.
First of all, I want to say congratulations. This is actually pretty impressive. Actually, haven't seen something quite like this, but I think you have a gold mine.
Thank you.
I think everybody kind of answered my questions, but how is it pretty easy to install? Or I guess if you take it to the motorcycle people, will do that.
You can do it yourself, but we're going to recommend that you take it to Harley Davidson and pay them $35 or $45 or whatever it'll cost to get it installed and working the right way.
I'm guessing there's no other company that came out with something similar to this.
Nobody else, just us.
Wow, that's amazing.
We have a question back here.
Yes.
Okay. So far, who is research and development? Just you and Sammie, or how's that?
And another guy named Gary Bell.
Gary Bell. Okay.
Yeah.
And also, how autonomous do you expect this to be moving forward? You can you talk Bluetooth. Now you know we have vehicles like, let's say Tesla, for instance, they have AI and all this. Would it be that this helmet can communicate with those and say, hey, you got a motorcycle coming up on you on your right rear in your blind spot? Would it communicate like that?
We've not gotten that far. And I'm not smart enough to know how to do that. But, we collectively will search people out for things that we need to have done so that it's done correctly. We're not haphazard in the way that we do things. My experience is in the Air Force. I managed aircraft maintenance units for nearly 20 years. I understand that each component has to speak to the other component in the right language. Tom's been teaching for 138 years, and Gary is a real common sense guy. And that's why it's not on the market yet. We want to make sure it's right when it goes into the market.
I had 30 years of manufacturing before I taught, and it was part of the design process. You had a 4-stage design process, A, B, C, and D. A was proof of concept. I mean, it was doing the research, coming up with the idea, and getting management to buy in that this is something we need to do. Step B is this. Step B is a prototype, okay? And that's typically manufactured or put together in the lab and everything else. That's where we are right now. The next step is where we're getting ready to go to, would be the transfer of the technology to a manufacturer to make initial production quantity, like 100 units, 100 kits or something. And then we get those out, and we get those to the dealerships, we get those on the road as prototypes. But then the manufacturing is something that we're starting to noodle right now, whether we want to do that or whether we should contract manufacture or what, and actually where we want to do it. Because we've uncovered that I think either India or China has the largest number of motorcycles on the road in the world. And it's like 300 million motorcycles in India. All right, and in India, motorcycle helmets are required. You know, this is a soft market in South Carolina because we don't require a helmet. Okay, which I find to be kind of insane, but that's just the way it is. So we've initiating contact with the folks in India through agencies there. Harley knows the folks in India because we actually got a company moving into town right now that manufactures motorcycle frames. They're an Indian company and they manufacture motorcycle frames. So we're going to maybe do a tie in there.
I know y'all mentioned Harley a few times, but how does it fit good into the like crotch rockets and all Kawasaki's, or is it brand specific?
The good thing about this is the only thing this has to fit on is the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do anything with the motorcycle other than install this under the seat.
Okay.
So if you wear a helmet, it will fit on that helmet.
Yeah, but he's asking, will that box fit on every model of motorcycle?
That's all.
Most of the wiring for motorcycles goes under the seats.
Yeah, but the space for some of the crotch rockets are tighter.
We've looked at them as well, and there's enough space. That's part of the reason that box is that size.
Okay.
It's because it will fit under there in a space.
Now this, that real estate there, you're talking about this very valuable real estate under that motorcycle seat, and that's a very good point. The size of that box can be reduced, but this was put together. This was put together by an organization here in town. In fact, you guys don't know this organization exists. I didn't know they existed until Sammie found them. It's called Inventions
on Taylor Street.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, they do really good work. So.
I'm going to squeeze in two questions, that's okay. I know it's really premature, but do you have an anticipated price point for that? And second, once that hits the market, Tom, you brought it up, and I can see possibly other countries that outside of the realm of U.S. laws knocking this off. You see once you go on, say, like Timu and stuff, you have protections against that.
That's one of the things that we're working on pretty heavily. We've got an attorney that's got the patents done for us, and we're now beginning to get that work done through that agency to make sure that we are protected in other countries.
One of the things taking a little while with the patents is we've asked them to take it both to the United States and secure the international rights on patent. And that and a quarter will get you a refill on a cup of coffee at the Waffle House. Right. Because as everybody knows, patents have to be defended. The U.S. Patent Office doesn't defend patents; it issues patents. If you want to defend the patent, it costs about $10,000–$15,000 to get a patent, and it costs 10 times that much to defend it. So you have to decide whether that's the direction you want to go.
Since you own this, sorry.
Two things.
Yes, sir.
I think you bring manufacturing to the United States because you can get enough tax breaks, and it's a small factory, and you control quality, you control channels and everything. You're not bringing it externally. The second thing is research. I think you guys have got to tie into some of the bike clubs, because if you can get that research where they're saying we would use this, that makes everything else easier. And there's such a huge bike club here in Columbia. They used to meet on Two Notch over at the Hooters. Hey, don't meet. So I just saw them. They're always up and down Two Notch. So I think part of it is proof of life.
Right.
Yeah. And if you do that research and the bikers are saying they want it, they'll help you determine how much they'll pay for it. Because what generally happens is folks come in low and thinking. So I think you guys, especially because then they can also tie you into the aftermarket places those installers that do boosters and all of that nitrous and everything on the bikes. They're not the Harley folks. The Yamaha and the Suzuki folks aren't going to the Harley folks. So you need to build a network of installers and a certification for installing it.
We have spoken to several of the motorcycle clubs here in Columbia, and they're aware of it. They are helping us with some of the moves that we're making with this system.
We set this up. Our first adventure outside of the laboratory was over at the Harley Davidson place out here on I-20 going out of town. And we were set up in a tent out in the parking lot, and all of a sudden these motorcycle club, the Harley, the local motorcycle club was there, and they said, we need to get our safety director over here. So all of a sudden, we've got safety directors from these clubs standing in front of our bench watching the activity of this helmet, and they said the same thing that you're saying, and they said, we are here to help you get this to the marketplace.
Yes.
Okay. Mine is, I am a rider, so everything that y'all dealing with, keep doing it. Because I've seen it a lot to where I've seen guys, when they've been riding on them bikes and they got the helmet on the side of the bike.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, when I mean riding, I'm talking about coasting that bike. So it's like, you needed that helmet, but it's tied to the back of the bike. Right. That's how I know y'all got a challenge. So what are the challenges that y'all mentioned?
I don't ride, and I never have, but I know a lot of guys that do, and even when I'm traveling and I pull into a service station, there are motorcycle riders there. I stop and I talk to them. And I ask them, is this something that you guys would do? Or this is where we are. What do you think we need to do to improve that? So we have involved that community in this. And it's not just our project. We've involved a lot of bikers in what we do and how we do it and what would you like for us to do. So I appreciate that, and we'll continue to do that. And I think this is the next one.
And since you own the patent for that, I could see like a helmet company, partner up with you to make the second version, the 2.0 version. I feel like you're on a good one right there. There's a lot of potential there.
This gentleman hasn't had a chance to ask a question. Go ahead, sir.
Sure. So does the unit that attaches to the onboard computer, does it use a battery? Or does it draw power from the bike? And also,
it draws power from the bike.
Okay. So the helmet then uses the battery. How long does that last?
We will advertise 3 hours of burn time because there are batteries in here as well. 3 hours of burn time, but it actually gives you 5.5 hours. I would rather you think you had 3 hours, and you can stretch it a little bit. It'll tell you that it's 5.5 hours, and you stretch that a little bit, and now you're running without the lights on the helmet, because then I become potentially liable.
Rechargeable?
Yes, it's rechargeable.
Final question. What can 1 million cups do for you?
As with any product that's being done by anybody does not have a pocket full of money. That is my biggest issue at this point. I've got got the manufacturing in place. And I found out yesterday through some more research that there's a company here in Columbia that will help me with that at a greatly reduced price. Because we have been working primarily with China to get the work done in bulk. But there are companies here in not just South Carolina, but in other places as well, that can help us fix that problem. And the more we talk about it, the more we think we may just do all of the production here stateside. That way it gives us more control.
And that, like for instance, that brake light is made by 3D. And the tooling necessary to get that done in volume by injection molding is somewhere north of $50,000. All right, so it's the next step is to get
funding for that.
Funding in that. But you know, upgradable. One of the things we sit like you're doing right now and looking at that light. So what else could we add into that? And Sammie came up with the idea very quickly. The idea of putting a gyroscope, something in that box that would say, or it's on the motorcycle. If the motorcycle's over on its side, every light on that thing turns on and starts flashing. So if you slid off the road and go into a ditch or something and you're out, you're wearing a helmet that's broadcasting where you are. All right. So and it can probably be geared to send a signal or send some kind of alert or whatever. So there's all kinds of downstream stuff. We're at the point right now where we're ready to authorize the manufacture of kits prior to going into full stream production. Okay, so.
Thank you. Okay, folks, that's the end of today's presentation. Are you able to stay any longer, Sammie, and let folks talk to you for a minute?
Yes, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Hey guys, thanks for giving us your time. It's important to get feedback, and you all giving us an opportunity to talk about this product. It's a great help to us. So thank you.
Thank you. This is for you. All right, folks, we'll see you all next week. Have a great week.
Are you following?
I want to say, you guys sound so great here. This was actually by far one of the best. I felt like you was teaching us a little something. We started talking about this thing. So I felt like I went through the program through City Columbia. My mind's drawing a blank.
Yeah, MBA program?
Yes. And I felt like we were doing very good. I was talking about padding and the story on the watch you guys were leaving down the street. But this is really great. You guys have something.
I talked to too many people and say, I got a patent on something. I'm golden. You just put yourself in big time.
This is great. You guys have a good one. Thank you. What you do?
I wanted to off the motorcycle.
So yeah, no, I was for fun. Or you want to
That's the restaurant right there.
What is
manufacturers, and they wanted 150,000 to start production. They haven't found somebody that can do it for us.
Yeah, so it's like pressure bricks,
backlash bag, to build each one was probably cost the manufacturer somewhere around $5.
that's what I thought
We'll
about.
sell it for it costs us that. Not your charge to me would be $30 to $35. And we sell it for $285. Because whatever we sell it over, they're going to want this 30% by the long time. The closest thing to this sells now for about $190. All it does is have lights in the helmet that don't get it. They keep trying to say my brake light and it's just one.
I'm not going to ask too many questions. Always like that. That's That's a real good idea. Especially when you unpack. It's always the most simple idea that makes people like the little sponge, little smiley face sponge, and that simple idea grows into something, massive. So
Absolutely.
potential there.
You also hit the brake. Visibility is a big thing.
Everything's sleek, like everything's embedded in the helmet.
Yeah, you have Harley Davidson back in you. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good.
Just redesign that would probably be a lot of money,
You have a business as well, man?
Oh, yeah.
Comes back to
You have a business as well? You only come to 1 million cups?
So I haven't been in a while.
Okay.
Okay. But I've been before, yeah.
Okay,
I
okay.
just did it for design.
You say it again now? I didn't hear you say that one. Oh, man, that's a really good business.
But professionally, I work in